how's your day going? I hope it's going well. Today I just wanted to have a talk about if you happen to lose a loved one while you're out here on the road. I think it's important to talk about it, and I just really feel like I need to talk about it and get things off my chest. So my father passed away in May, and I was truck driving. I was getting myself home every weekend. He was on hospice care, and I didn't really have a say in his health care. I wasn't the one that, whatever that is, that the person that makes the decisions about a person's health care on their death, power of attorney. I'm not sure what I'll find out and put it on the screen. I think it's power of attorney, or I'm not sure, but I wasn't the one in charge. I have a brother, I have a sister, an older sister. She was in charge, and my mother. And we had the doctor had said, because he kept going into the hospital, every couple months, he'd be out of breath and they'd have to give him like a blood transfusion. And the doctor was like, don't you just want to... I was upset with this. The doctor just said, don't you want to just spend your time at home and not worry about coming to the hospital? And I'm thinking, don't you want to save his life? You just want to put him out of the misery. And I was doing all this research on the elderly and hospice care, and there was talk about that the government wants to push older people out because it costs them too much money to keep them alive. I mean, I don't know, because I hate the government, I hate politics, and they just piss me off too. But anyway, my dad was fine. Every time I came home every weekend, he would talk to me. We would have a conversation. He did have dementia, but not full blown. He knew my name. He knew past events and dates. He knew, things. And it just kind of, when they put him on hospice, I noticed that he was kind of not himself, because they were slowly giving him that morphine stuff. And morphine, that's the drug that kills you. That's what they give patients that are going to terminate or end a life. And I just noticed that he just wasn't himself anymore. I told my mother, I said, stop giving him that drug. Stop giving that to him. I was so upset. And then I don't know, I think he might have been on hospice for like 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting phone calls and that we don't think he's gonna make it through the night. Yeah, because you're fucking giving him the drug. That's why. That I didn't agree to. And I get a call at 11 o'clock at night. We're gonna be calling the priest. What the fuck? Why are you calling the priest? Why are you calling the goddamn priest? Anyway, during that time, I think I was in Maine, all right? And I was so upset because I knew instinctively that they were killing my dad with the drug. And I knew when he died because he came to me, didn't say anything to me. He was a younger version of himself, came to me in my, not my dream, but like my subconscious, and like telepathy. I don't know what happens when you die, but I know he came to me, was a younger version of him, and he was very youthful. Maybe I was saying his 30s. Dark hair, he had no gray hair, he was younger. And he also was with my teacup. Not my teacup. I had a dog that passed away maybe about 5 years ago. It was sudden with her. She was like 3 years old. She fell down the steps and cracked her head open. She died in my arms. That was so sad. But he showed me that she was with him and they're okay. But I was crying in the truck. You know, I didn't talk to, I was bawling my eyes out in the back in my bed, crying. God motherfucking that nurse. Yeah, mother effing that nurse. And it probably was best that I wasn't there in that room because I probably would have killed the nurse. I would have beat her up. Because in my eyes, she killed my father, you know, and I just won't. And I still have I'm still like upset about it, you know. I'm still upset about the whole thing because I think that they put him on hospice too soon. When he's listen, my dad was going to the bathroom on his own. He was not wearing a diaper or anything like that. Able to get himself to the bathroom and go take a shower on his own. We just did minimal things for him, like make sure his bed sheets were changed, laundry, fed him, you know, cooked like we normally do. You know, like the women normally do for their man, you know, back in the day. That's, you know, what we do. We take care of our men. But I just was very upset about the whole thing. And I had a very hard time getting over that grief, that sorrow, because it was a lot of different things with that. But there's gonna come a time where, you know, someone that you really love and care about is gonna pass away. And if you're on the truck, you know, my company deadheaded me back to Pittsburgh. I don't know, it was like 750 miles or something like that to Pittsburgh. But they did get me home. And hopefully you're working for a company that will get you home when you have emergencies like that. It's not easy dealing with a death, a loss of somebody that you really love and care about. It's very hard. You can go through a depression. I went through a depression. I mean, you guys didn't know that, but you know now. It was very hard. I just had such a hard time, and I still do, because I just wish they would have waited just a little bit longer, just until everybody was on board. You know, I wasn't on board with it. You know, I wish they would have let me in on what was going on. You know, I wish I was the one in charge of it. I would have waited a little bit longer. Because the thing that pisses me off about that whole thing is that I asked, look, that hospice nurse came in. Okay, we all went upstairs. I was totally not, like when they first came, they were introducing, and I happened to be there. And he introduced himself to my dad, and he goes, hospice? He looked at my mother, looked at me. I said, Dad, I didn't have nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with this, Daddy. I don't approve of this. I still get upset about it because it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Why, I think about this stuff. Why couldn't that doctor just give him oxygen? That's all he needed. He was just out of breath from coming up the steps. Of course you're going to be out of breath if you don't move around a lot. Just give him some oxygen. Can you do that, Doc? No, he didn't give him oxygen. That doctor. Fatty Gaddy was his name. You're on my shit list, Dr. Fatty Gaddy. But I know that it's hard to go through things like that in your life in general when you lose somebody that really meant a lot to you, that had your back. And, you know, I don't have a family. I don't have a husband or children or another, you know, I don't have my own. He was my family. He was my family. And I told him that I had his back, and I didn't. So now I got to deal with this because I still have to have relationships with my family. And I know that probably during that time, like probably for the past year, I was very irritable. Just because I knew that it was very stressful for everybody, him going in and out of the hospital. But it's not like he was bedridden, you know. And I worked in a nursing home long ago, so I know. And I went to nursing school I know things. Okay, he was not bedridden. Okay, he was just tired. That's all. People get tired when they get older. Just let him go. Let him be in peace. But I'm just here to tell you that you're not alone, okay? And I ask you to, you know, if it's your mother, father, sister, brother, or somebody that really maybe help guide you, and maybe you're not getting along with them right now, I'm asking you to please make peace with those people that raised you or whatever. You just have to let bygones be bygones and just forgive those people that maybe hurt you. Maybe you didn't have a good mother or father, and I'm sorry, but you have to try to let it go and have peace and forgiveness for those people. But hopefully that if you're in trucking on the road, that you're able to get home right away, because that, you know, that's a pretty decent company. And like I said, it's probably best that I wasn't there when it happened. But I had a hell of a time by myself dealing with the pain and the struggle here in a truck when they told me. But I already knew when he died, like I told you. He came to me. So, cherish the people that mean anything to you. Cherish them, appreciate them. And, you know, because life is really too short to hold grudges and to go through life not happy. Okay? So I know this was a little serious today, and I don't normally talk about like personal things, but I just felt that things needed to be said about this, because it is going to happen sometime in your life, and it happened to me on the truck. So I wish you the best, and maybe I'll do some more like one-on-one talks like this, you know, because I do like to talk and about different like events and stuff that might happen in life. But I hope you're doing good, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, bye.